Hello students, I hope you are all fine and in good health. In this audio presentation, I will be critically analyzing the portrait of a lady written by Kushwant Singh. So dear students, as you can see at the top it is written the portrait of a lady, then it is written Kushwant Singh. So dear students, let's start. This is the first segment that I will be discussing right now. This chapter revolves around narrator's memorable moments with his grandmother. The entire chapter revolves around the narrator's close relationship with his grandmother, and the entire chapter revolves around the narrator's memorable moments that he had spent with his grandmother. He recounts the days which he had spent with his grandmother since his childhood. Now, it is like a journey down the memory lane, we can say, because here the author Kushwant Singh, he recounts or recollects the days which he had spent with his grandmother, and that was from his beginning part of his childhood days. He shed some light on the pious personality of his grandmother, who would take pains to grow him up, because it was a huge challenging moment for her. Because Kushwant Singh and Kushwant Singh's grandmother, they were in the village. But remember one thing, dear students, Kushwant Singh's grandmother was a very strong woman, and she accepted the challenge with dignity. And the time period which Kushwant Singh spent along with his grandmother in the village, it was quite a pleasurable one. But having said that, she also took great care of Kushwant Singh's health and also related to Kushwant Singh's education at the same time. So this line is very significant. He shed some light on the pious personality of his grandmother, who could take pains to grow him up, because she had taken unbearable pain, difficulty, but still with a smile on her face, she protected, nurtured, and cared about Kushwant Singh a lot when they were both in the village. Now I am moving on to the next segment of this critical analysis part of the story. It is written, according to Kushwant Singh, his grandmother was a religious lady who would spend her most of the time in reciting prayers and telling the beads of her rosary. Now, because she was very religious and she was a bit backdated also, she was not so progressive, and but she was a deeply religious lady, and most of the time she would recite prayers, and beads of rosary used to be in her hand every time. She used to do the spinning wheel also at the same time, apart from reciting the prayers. He begins this chapter with the childhood memories when he was wakened and dressed up by his grandmother for his school. Because at the very beginning of this chapter, we find that Kushwant Singh clearly tells us about the childhood experience way back in the village, when it was her grandmother who actually used to wake him up, and not only that, used to dress him up also for his school. And not only that, he used to take Kushwant Singh along with her to school. She would get the narrator ready and take him to the school that was next to a temple. And as you all know, that the temple priest was the teacher in the Pathshala. So the village school or the elementary school or the Pathshala and the temple are located side by side. Now, that is not only the entire thing, some more important things also we get to know about Kushwant Singh's grandmother. She was a philanthropist, a person who helps the others, who always have a helping mentality, who would carry stale chapatis for the dogs whom she encountered every day on the way to school, because that is a very important theme, as I had repeatedly referred in the live class also, that we find not only the deep love and bonding and attachment between the grandmother and the grandson, But apart from that, we find love and affection as well as kindness towards the birds and the animals. Okay, particularly dogs and sparrows we find here. And she used to carry stale chapatis for the village dogs every day on the way to school, even after the school session was over. And when she used to take her grandson along with her, that time also few dogs used to follow them. At the temple, she would read scriptures and waited for her grandson's school to be over because the school and the temple are located side by side. She would read scriptures and she waited for her grandson's school to be over. Then she would take her grandson along with her. Now, dear students, I am moving on to the next segment. Then comes a turning point in the relationship between Kushwant Singh and Kushwant Singh's grandmother. What sort of a turning point? You all know by this time that when they were being called to be in the city, leaving the village, then the bond of friendship got broken. It was snapped totally when later Kushwant Singh went to the university for higher studies, and later when he went abroad for higher studies. At that time, the entire bond of friendship was totally broken. Now, as soon as they were called to city, they went to settle there. Now the narrator starts going to a public school by a motor van where he learns about music, science and English. Now there are a lot of changes. There lies the concept of urbanization and modernization. These two concepts are very important. Okay, concept that is related with urbanization, and as I told you all right now, modernization. And in that English medium school, Kushwant Singh learned many new things. First of all, he learned about Western science and English. He learned about music. Now all these things were never appreciated by his grandmother at all. What was her main target? She always wanted Kushwant Singh to learn about holy scriptures only, but in school no religious education can be promoted. She often gets offended when told by her grandson about the subjects he learns at school because, first of all, she can't help Kushwant Singh, and most important thing is that she never ever liked Western education, and music, according to her, was for the low mentality people. Particularly, music is applicable and it is the only domain to be practiced by the beggars and the prostitutes. And according to her, no one who belongs to the aristocratic or polite or genteel section of the society should practice music. That was her mentality. As I told you all previously also, that her mentality was a bit backdated. She often gets offended when told by her grandson about the subjects he learns at school because he can't help she can't help her grandson. That was the reason she was very much offended. And Western education, music, these are the subjects that she hated a lot. She never used to like all these things at all. Moreover, on the other hand, the grandmother starts feeding the sparrow and spinning the wheel or charkha for killing her time, and that was the most important part, that she never protested. She never showed her emotional exuberance to others. What she did, she went on feeding the sparrows and went on spinning the wheel, and in this way she went on killing her time. After few years, the narrator decides to move on. Now, dear students, I already had moved on to the next segment related with the critical part that is related with this story. So, after few years, the narrator decides to move on and to move to a university and later abroad. He thinks that his grandmother would be very emotional when she gets to know about this news. But she was not emotional. But one thing that can be seen on her, that was she was very, very depressed, or rather to say, she was very upset with the news. But the reverse happens at the airport. She kisses on to his forehead airport, or as it is written in your text, railway station, that she kisses on his forehead, and without expressing anything, she kept very quiet. Now the grandmother resorts to feeding a sparrow with the breadcrumbs every day and befriends them. Now, obviously, after Kushwant Singh went abroad for higher studies, her only pastime was obviously the time that she used to spend with the sparrows. Now I am moving on to the final segment of this particular critical analysis, this discussion. After 5 years, when the narrator returns, he finds his grandmother alive to his surprise. His grandmother claps him in his hand and celebrates his homecoming with the women of the neighborhood. And she went on beating a dilapidated drum till the moment she was tired, despite she got repeated warnings from the other relatives and other family members. She went on beating the drum. She tires herself by overstraining and falls ill the next day. As I had already referred to this, dear students, a doctor is called to examine, but she makes it clear to everyone that she is going to die. But the most important thing was that she makes it clear to everyone that she was going to die soon, very soon. She also emphasizes on telling the beads of rosary and declines to talk to any of the family members. Now, a change came over her despite the diagnosis made by the doctor was not threatening to that extent, because the doctor told that she had a mild fever and it won't be much dangerous or life threatening to her. But at the back of her mind, she had some other thoughts, and that was the reason she, from that moment, Kushwant Singh and the other family members, they found a great change in her, because what she did after that, she stopped praying altogether and declines to talk to any of the family members. And after few hours, the beads of rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. Even in this way, Kushwant Singh has described the death of his grandmother, that the beads of rosary fell from her lifeless fingers, and as expected, she dies. Now, thousands of sparrows came to mourn her death, because they are her only companions in this particular city life. And one important thing is that when she used to be alive, she used to feed the sparrows with the breadcrumbs, and the sparrows never used to be upset. And she also never also used to be upset. Even some of the sparrows used to sit on her head, on her shoulders, on her toes, but she never used to be angry, and she never used to shoo them away. Now those sparrows, they came in large numbers, and though Kushwant Singh's mother had given them breadcrumbs, but literally speaking, they had taken no notice of it. They all fly away without picking up a single breadcrumb. Now, this is something very important. They all fly away without taking a single breadcrumb. That shows their genuine love for the grandmother. So, dear students, kindly go through this audio presentation, and if there is any problem anywhere, please ask me about it. Thank you, students. Thank you all.